Assalamualaikum and salam sejahtera. Today we continue our lesson for EBT 451 Professional Engineer. And for today's lesson, we will learn about responsibility of a professional engineer. Engineer responsibilities. Before we go deep, what is the responsibilities of an engineer? Let's see what is an engineering sectors in Malaysia or throughout the worldwide. Okay, there are many sectors covered by the engineering and the engineer, such as in the agriculture, industries, engineering, technology, communication, income, defense, foreign exchange, and manufacturing sectors. Okay, what do you think will happen if the engineer doesn't have any responsibilities in what they are doing? What will happen? Main categories of responsibilities that need to be held by engineer. Okay, there are three main or major responsibilities. First is the professional rights and responsibilities. Second is the social responsibilities. And third is regarding the whistleblowing. Professional, professional right and responsibilities is an engineer conduct, okay, as shown or as per discussed in the professional codes of conduct towards others engineers, towards the employers, towards the clients, and towards the public is an essential part of the life of a professional engineer. Yet, the education process and professional society pay inadequate attention to this area. Social responsibilities. The social responsibilities of an engineer include human safety and environmental protection in engineering designs, but it may extend further to include pro bono work and consideration of social justice issues. Research has found that perceptions of the professional social responsibilities of engineers vary across different countries and cultures, as well as engineering disciplines. Whistleblowing. Engineers face a unique situation with respect to reporting unsafe situations that are created by an employer or a client, in that licensed engineer may have a legal or ethical duty to blow the whistle on the employer in certain situations. Okay, so the professional right and responsibilities talk about how the engineer need to behave or follow a set of rules regarding their works and lifestyles. Okay, the social responsibility is what is expected from the engineer for the socials. Okay, by means, okay, they need to perform something that that need to consider the social. Okay, and whistleblowing is that if the engineer found that something is wrong, or the thing that he need or required to be do is not within the aspect of an engineering, okay, then he needed to report it. This is what we call as whistleblowing. Professional right and responsibilities. Okay, engineers exercise their right and responsibilities to develop framework for understanding. Most fundamental right, professional concerns, exercise judgment when necessary, and right to refuse due to other party unethical behavior. Professional rights are confidential and proprietary information. This means that, okay, all the design and everything that the engineer do is uh, is needed to be treated as confidential. Okay, this is important to the employer or the company that he work in. Okay, the conflict of interest. If the engineer have a conflict of interest, okay, regarding the work he is carried out, then he need to report it, and then he need to have a competitive bidding. Okay, this competitive bidding is very important because the engineer, okay, need to follow the code of conduct. Okay, whereas he need to be truthful in everything that he do or work out. Professional responsibility regarding the confidential and proprietary information. Okay, the engineer need to keep certain information secret and confidential. Engineers required to sign the non-disclosure agreement, or else what we call it as NDA. Okay, when necessary, whistleblowing to protect the public. Okay, if he found that the design that he's carried out have flaws, but however the employer or the company still wanted it to be carried out, then he need to report it. Sometimes reporting the issue will create another issues. Okay, there is what we call as whistleblowing, where the reporter that reporting any unethical activities, okay, will be protected. Conflict of interest is to keep away from any obligation, and then the competitive bidding is regarding the code of ethics, include a prohibition on competitive bidding, prevent engineers to compete based on submitting reports. Okay, this is also very important. Okay, if the bidding is being done, okay, which is not in the engineer discipline or expertise, then he should not propose in the bidding. Okay, the social responsibilities is to ensure the safety and well-being of the public, to ensure the society funds and resources concerning technology are well used, refusing to work on a particular project or for a particular company, and speaking out publicly against a proposed project, blowing the whistle on illegality or wrongdoing. This is the social responsibility of an engineer. Okay, and then it also professional society's obligation to provide protection for whistleblower. So the whistleblower, if he blow the whistle regarding any unethical or any illegal activities, then it will be protected. Okay, individual and organizational concern about the impact of engineering projects on society, contributing one service to worthy non-profit groups and projects, and engineering schools commitment to educating future engineer about the social responsibility. Okay, this is also what we are doing in the subject EBT 451 professional engineer. We are trying to educate the future engineers regarding what is the responsibility of an engineer. Example of social responsibility. First is commitment of risk assessment aspect to ethical risk safety assessment. Okay, then is to voluntarily assume that the task of educating the public about important consequences of various technological and scientific developments, commitment of engineers to design and develop sustainable technologies, provide expert advice to non-expert, explicit care and concern about technologies' impact on nature and the environment. This is also very important despite of the human or the welfare of the human being in the society. An engineer also have to concern about the nature and the environment. Bidding by the principle of sustainable development when thinking about engineering design. Bidding by the precautionary principle when thinking about engineering design. And in engineering design, engineer have practiced social responsibility factors of safety to their design and by building in redundancy. Okay, whistleblowing. Okay, it's depending on the situation. First, if the employer informed the public on unethical behavior. Okay, for example, the employer or the supervisor, and the engineer knows what will happen and what is the consequence. Therefore, the engineer need to blow the whistle on act, which include the harm of the health and safety of other human. This is very important to protect the society. Okay, there are two types. First is the internal factors, and second is the external whistleblowing. Okay, whistleblowing for the internal factor is over immediate supervisor or higher management level. This is inside one's company. External whistleblowing goes to newspaper or law enforcing authorities. Okay, so they go to the higher rank, okay, outside of the company. When it is to whistleblow, okay, first they need to identify a clear and important harm that can be avoided by blowing a whistle. Okay, so first of all, they cannot simply just throw out any statement regarding what will happen. First, they have to have a clear picture what will happen regarding the items. Okay, and then if it is being developed or being carried out, and then what will happen towards the society, and in future what will happen regarding towards the design. Okay, proximity, clear clear position of the report. Capability is the last resort and no other choice. Then report to the media. First, they need to report within the company and so what will happen if they still carry out the project. Okay, if the company say will take no action, further action, then the last resort is the engineer have to go and report to the media. This is called as external whistleblowing. Okay, so as an engineer, don't try to be the three monkeys. Okay, first you need to open your eyes to justice. Okay, and then you need to be brave and truthful to speak out the truth. And third is listen up to whistleblower. Okay, then you make your action. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum.